Sometime within the next minute or so, somewhere on the planet, another big idea is being born. It might be a new song, a new product, who knows? And who knows how to make this idea grow and introduce it to the world? Let's find out. Welcome to The Next Big Idea with your host, Peter Gantner. The program is sponsored by kulaBrands, dedicated to help with branding, funding, and marketing the next big idea. And if that idea is yours, you want to pay particular attention to the particulars. Peter and his co-hosts and guests will explain just how it's done. If you happen to be an investor or just an interested party, you could benefit from the efforts of kulaBrands. You could become a part of their community of folks who want to help others and make money in the process. If that sparks your curiosity or wets your whistle, sit up and take notice. kulaBrands presents Peter Gantner and his guests on The Next Big Idea.
Hey everybody, this is Peter Gantner, your host for The Next Big Idea. And of course, I have my universally famous co-host, Deborah Caswell.
I'm here, Peter. It's so great to hear from you. This is awesome.
Oh, and today, guys, we are missing Corey, but that's okay. We still love him. We still care about him. But we do have one of our favorite projects that we've talked about here on the show, and that is digieBot, guys. And I'm going to jump into why it's one of our favorite projects. You know, throughout our history, it doesn't matter how old you are. Maybe you're 30, maybe you're in your 40s, maybe you're in your 50s, right? Maybe you're 60. Throughout our lives, there have been trends that have taken place that we have all missed, okay? And you miss them because maybe they come up too quickly. Maybe you didn't know about them until the trend has already taken place. And these are my opinion, guys, but in the crypto space, we got a little lucky here because the crypto took off and then it had a recorrection, which now is taking some time, which is giving people the chance to get involved with it. And if you don't know a lot about crypto, there's one thing that's there, guys. It's not the cryptocurrency that's the core of it. It is the blockchain that is the core of it. And if you simply want to learn the power of the blockchain, just go out and put in Google blockchain, search in the news, and look at the major companies from banks to major corporations that are getting involved in the blockchain. And if those guys are getting involved in it, then my recommendation to you would be to figure out a way to get into blockchain. Here's the great part about it. Normally, to get involved in a trend, you need to start a company. With the blockchain, because cryptocurrency is the reflection of blockchain, the usage of that mechanism, you can be involved in blockchain by simply purchasing cryptocurrency, okay? So with us, we have Mr. Doug Kyle and we have Brendan with us. They are the creators, the founders of digieBot.com. How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
Fantastic. How could we not be with Digi?
Oh my goodness. So guys, today we are going to talk about the results of Digi over the last couple of months here. Of course, we do want to let you know, and I'm going to let Doug say the statement because he knows it inside and out. Past performance doesn't.
There's no guarantee of future results, Peter.
Bingo, guys. And we're going to probably say that a few times throughout the show, but we are going to share with you. And Brendan, before we started the show, we were talking about that Brendan has done a lot of research out there on the crypto, other bots that are out there. Because what digieBot is, guys, and it's in the name, it is a trading bot, a cryptocurrency trading bot, which means it trades for you, okay? It does the trading for you once you set it up. Throughout the call, we're going to talk about in one of the segments how simple it is to set up digieBot, but it is a cryptocurrency trading bot. And Brendan has done an extensive amount of research on the other bots in the marketplace. And currently to this time, Brendan, is there a bot out there other than Digi that shows its daily trading results?
I haven't been able to find it, Peter. And you know, I look at this. People send me stuff all the time in this arena. And I mean, that's always got to be the first question, right? When you're looking to buy automated software that's going to trade for you, my first question is going to be, what's the results, right? There's a few out there that will show a couple of random trades, but none of them show their own proprietary strategy, ongoing results, day in and day out. And that's what we do, right? We believe in transparency, and that's, you know, that's what you get with Digi.
And so,
But
Doug,
let me add one thing to
Yeah,
that,
go
though,
ahead, buddy.
Peter.
Yes,
You know,
please.
the other thing that they do that aren't bots, there's systems out there that you copy their top traders, right? And it's like anything else. When somebody's at the top, they'll promote that trader, and you'll copy that trader. When that trader starts doing bad, which those traders seem to go in cycles, then somebody else becomes to the top. So you see a different person. With Digi, you're always seeing the same bot, right? There is no promoting one guy one month and another guy another month. It's always the results of Digi.
So I just heard that I can see the results of Digi. Doug, where am I going to go to see those results of digieBot right now? If I wanted to go say, I want to go see what these guys are talking about.
Sure, if you go to digiebot.com and you click on the Get Started link at the top of the page, Peter, and you scroll down to the bottom, there'll be a list of results for the month of April, but you can also look at March, February, and January and see our results for each one of those months. And the month of April that you're seeing right now is the current running month. These are live trades by our traders. So it's not just digieBot, you know, doing its thing on one account. These are the results of hundreds of accounts combined together. You're seeing the real deal.
Wow. I mean, Deb, come on. Have you ever seen anything out there that like this in the crypto space that's showing the results? Now, I know, Deb, you have a Digi account. How excited are you about your Digi account?
I love my Digi account. I woke up this morning and had 4 trades that had gone through since the time I'd gone to bed last night. So I'm very, very happy with Digi. He just trades while I'm sleeping, trades while I'm working, trades while I'm eating. It doesn't matter what I'm doing. He just keeps trading. So Doug, when you were talking about the results out there, was that, you said it's every trader is combined. Is that real time? So I could, when I go out there, I'm seeing today's trades too, in addition to everything else for the month?
Absolutely. So in the column, it says close percentage. So some of our traders are going for bigger profits. So sometimes you'll see that, like today, if I look at the first 2 columns, they show 100% close. The third column shows 99.824% close, Deb. So that means there's a trader out there that may be going for a bigger target or whatever. And so that is in real time showing you those percent close. So yes, it's by, you know, I think it updates every few hours. And then you see those real numbers every day.
So I got to tell you, 2 years ago, I jumped into crypto. It was right when it really started to boom. The first, we'll call that the first boom that had altcoins and Bitcoin and all that stuff running. Prior to that, there had been some runs with Bitcoin. Jumped in and I started trading, and I was just so excited about my own results. Of course, the boom came and then it crashed back down. But I got to tell you guys, it was like a full-time job, right? I couldn't get anything else done because I was waiting to catch that trade, to catch this. And so for me, I looked at it and said, well, it doesn't matter how much money I can make. And I've heard this from a lot of other traders. So I know some people that are doing Forex. I know people that are doing stock trading. They are tied to their computer. So like the traders, the day traders for stocks, from the early morning on the East Coast till in the afternoon on the West Coast, they're tied to their computer. They are not leaving that computer. If the house is burning down, they're taking their computer with them because they cannot leave because they're in a trade and they want to make sure that they're stuck. So the thing that I love about digieBot is once I set it up, Deb, how much work have you had to do with digieBot to get those 4 trades once you got it all set up?
Oh, absolutely nothing. Once I got it set up, it's a set it and forget it if you want it to be. You can go in and have a look at it and make adjustments here and there if you wanted to, but you don't have to. He just does it for you on the background. When I say make adjustments, like Doug said, some people are waiting for a higher percentage. Let's say I've got a trade that's sitting out there and you know, it's up about 1.5%, and suddenly I have an urge to say, well, don't sell it until it's at 5%. I can make that change if I want to. Now, I think that's silly, because as Doug and Brendan have taught me for the past couple of years, is the more trades you get, the better off you are. You're letting your money work for you instead of waiting for that big trade, or, you know. So I've learned to not touch my digieBot, and he does a lot better when I'm not touching him.
That is awesome. Yeah, and again, it's getting that in there and getting those trades going every single day and putting that together. So we're going to talk a little bit in detail in the next segment about how easy it is to set up digieBot, but we got about a minute left. Doug, can you start that conversation going? I'm new to this. I really don't maybe know enough. I own some Bitcoin. I already own the Bitcoin, but I want to get it working for me now instead of just waiting for that coin to go up. What does it look like for getting digieBot set up?
Well, it's really very simple, Peter. If you already have like a Binance account or a Kraken account because you have coins, it takes about 30 seconds to set a what we call a master trade up, which is basically an algorithm that Brendan and I have developed. We have multiples of those, so it's really simple. And we've tried to make it as simple as we can for novice traders all the way to advanced traders. So we've taken Digi does all the heavy lifting. So it's about 30 seconds to get that done.
That is awesome. And I got to tell you guys, when you hear algorithm, maybe you're thinking music class, you know, like you're going to dance to it. We're going to talk about that in the next segment. So we're going to be back after this break with Doug, Kyle, and digieBot, and Brendan.
You're tuned in to Better Living Radio, streaming worldwide across the internet, and you're listening to entrepreneur and thought processor Peter Gantner on the next big idea. Stay tuned. Peter will be right back. You may have heard Jackie Simmons on Better Living Radio. If so, you know that she's full of sage advice and fun ways to view the world that keep your stress levels under control. You may not know that Jackie also offers webinars and trainings on timely topics that touch the most important and sensitive areas of our lives. For your business, there's how to sell with confidence and ease, and the 4 keys of effective public speaking. Both are jam-packed with the tools you need to be seen, be heard, and be profitable. Bringing it closer to home, Jackie shares what she's learned as the mother of a teen suicide attempt survivor in How to End the Teen Suicide Epidemic. In this presentation, Jackie shares the 6 key indicators that your loved one may be at risk and the 6 simple steps anyone can take to mitigate that risk. To see what's coming next and save your seat, visit mindsetseminars.com. Better Living Radio is on the air, and yes, it's everywhere around the world. Are you wondering, hey, what's the big idea? Well, funny you should ask. Our show is called The Next Big Idea with Peter Gantner. In fact, we're back with more on Better Living Radio.
Guys, we are back with Doug, Kyle, and Brendan, and we are talking about digieBot and the amazing results that it's been getting on a daily basis. So Doug, real quick, we were talking about in the last segment, setting up my digieBot account. You talked about the master trade, 30 seconds. Can you go through the whole entire process? So I'm setting up my master trade. What else do I need to do? What parameters do I have? What's in my control? What needs to be in my control? And what will Digi just do for me?
Sure. So in the setting up the master trade, and let me define a master trade real quick, Peter, so they know what that is. A master trade is simply a set of rules that we predefined that once it's set up, it will trade the market like it does for Deb 24/7. So how hard is it to set up a master trade? Well, you pick the coin that you want, whether it's a BTC or Linked or any coin that you like. You can select a number of coins. You select the desired amount that you want to trade in terms of USD. So we've set it where you just pick the dollar amount per trade you want to trade. And you select a desired profit target that you want Digi to try to hit for you. Digi will exit that trade based on that desired target profit, or it will exit that trade based on volume signals, and everything Digi does is volume. So basically pick a coin, pick an amount, pick a target, and set our money management and hit add, and you're done, Peter.
Wow. That's pretty simple. I mean, you can't get much simpler than that when it comes to trading. Now, buddy, I've heard a lot of hype out there where people are saying, and this is something, guys, I want you to hear, audience, you want to run from this, okay? So a lot of people go, oh, how much does your software make per day on a percentage basis? And knowing business as well as I do, and in investments and those type of things, it would be like me sitting down and going, well, how much is my real estate going to go up today? Oh, if my real estate goes up by a set percentage per day. The market helps determine that. So anytime, and I want to get your opinion on this, Doug or Brendan, if somebody says my software is making me a solid 1% a day, should they listen to that or should they run in another direction?
Oh, absolutely run in another direction. And it's not that those kind of results aren't possible, but claiming it, one, is illegal, Peter. They can't do that. And using, I just wrote a big PDF for the whole community on understanding ROI. And one of the things was, let's take your house example that you just used, Peter. Your house went up today 10%. How much of that 10% did you realize, Peter? 0, because you didn't sell your home, right? And so this is the same thing. You're trading coins and Bitcoins. Your true ROI is not realized until you sell and cash out back to, in this case, in the US dollars. So in that whole time, your Bitcoins could go up and down, up and down, up and down. But until you actually cash out, you don't know what your true ROI is. So people that are saying it can make you 1% a day, you're telling me you're cashing out every day? Not true, not happening.
Also, too, is I hear a lot of this stuff where we'll just send us money. And again, we want to help people understand this. In order to send somebody money, they must be what? A registered broker, correct?
That's correct.
If they're not a registered broker, they're not allowed to accept and trade money for other people.
That's correct.
Okay. How does digieBot work? Am I sending digieBot? Am I just buying a piece? Am I buying a piece of software? Not just. Am I buying a piece of software? And then do I send you? Do they send you the money or digieBot the money? Where does that? Let's explain that to people, where the risk and where the liability is on that side of it.
Oh, that's a great point, Peter. Yeah, so digieBot or any staff that works for digieBot never ever takes a penny from a trader. We don't have access to your money. We don't accept your money unless you're paying for Digi. But in terms of your trading money, we don't have access to your money. So you deposit your money directly with an exchange. And right now, those two exchanges that we're using are Kraken and Binance.com. So Kraken for the US, Binance for everywhere else. You set up your accounts with those exchanges. You deposit your money in those exchanges, not with Digi. And then you set up your what is called an API, Peter, that hooks Digi to your account. And then Digi, all Digi is doing is that master trade I talked about how to set up. All you're doing is allowing that master trade to trade your Binance or your Kraken account on your behalf. So again, we have no access to your money. And personally, Peter, I don't want access to their money.
That's and I agree 100%. Now, let's say I've got it trading and it's making some money there. I need access to some of my money. Can I stop a trade? Can I do that type of stuff? Not that I would recommend it, but you know, let's say I got my stimulus check here and I go, you know what? I'm going to buy the software and I put my $1,200 that I get from stimulus, because otherwise I'm just going to spend it. I'm just going to waste it. Maybe I'm going to buy a new whatever, and it's going to be gone if I don't need it to pay my bills. I'm not saying if you pay your bills with it, but if it's extra money that I've got sitting on top of it, and I put that into some Bitcoin and I get that up and running, okay? Let's say I need that in a month, some of it.
Yeah, so you would just go to again, Binance or Kraken, and you would transfer some of your Bitcoin into USD and then transfer that out to your bank account. And there's a number of ways to do that, but yeah, you always have complete access to your money.
That is spectacular. I love it, right? Easy access to be able to get that if an emergency comes up. Of course, you really don't want to touch it, right? You want that to keep building. If you want to build long-term wealth, and if the things are right, guys, and this has been in the news, there's been some news about maybe it go, maybe the value of Bitcoin going down, but most of the news that's out that I've been finding is talking about the possibility of Bitcoin going to 30, 40,000. I just read an article talking about it going to $1 million. We don't know, of course. Nobody has a crystal ball that's going to tell them exactly where it's going to be, but I just read 2025 possibility of $1 million. These are some pretty smart people that are talking about this. Now, there's other people that are on the other side of this. So I think my goal then, if I'm sitting there going, hey, I would like to someday be able to retire in comfort, maybe I could take a few $1,000s right now, put it into Bitcoin. My biggest risk would be if it went to zero, but the huge benefit that could be there could be maybe Bitcoin does go to 100 or $200 or $300,000. I've had it trading now for, let's say, the last 3 or 4 years, because we're getting to 2025 now. I've now accumulated maybe 1 or 2 Bitcoin, and now I have a significant amount of money. Can you cover a little bit of that, Doug?
Yeah, absolutely, Peter. And that really is the goal, guys. It's about Bitcoin accumulation. So, we believe in the long-term viability of the blockchain and definitely the long-term viability of Bitcoin. So everything that we're doing in the short term, and what Deb is doing with her account and all our traders are doing with their accounts, is we're accumulating Bitcoin, right? So as Bitcoin goes up and down in real time, we're trying to accumulate more Bitcoin. So if that day does come, then we have enough Bitcoin that can make a significant difference in our families' lives. Now, Peter, an important thing on the Bitcoin value, and we just saw this, oil hit a historic low in the futures markets, right? It was negative, I think, $39. First time that's ever happened. And then prior to that, we saw huge crashes in the stock market, the daily markets, right? Big downs in the last couple of months. We've had big swings. Bitcoin and the cryptos in general, Peter, which I think is just a huge statement here, was able to separate itself from those markets. What do I mean by that? I mean, those markets were going down and Bitcoin was still going up. Some of the altcoins were still going up. So where we thought we were tied to different markets and that the Bitcoin and the altcoins were being heavily influenced by other markets potentially, we saw what I would consider a clear separation, which means the world is looking at Bitcoin and the altcoins as an alternative potential safe haven in those down markets, Peter.
Yeah, and then along that point, Doug, a lot of people are talking about Bitcoin sort of an equivalent to gold, right? When a lot of times when the market's getting hit hard, people turn to gold. When the economy's getting hit hard, people turn to gold. Well, now Bitcoin is in the mix, with a lot of the bigger traders, and they're talking about it like it's, like it is different than the market. But I think another important point for us to call out is that even when we've had the crypto market kind of being a downtrend, right, for a year or so, and through that point, right, Digi was still trading and Digi's still trading it effectively. And I think that's even probably a more important point, right? The market goes up, we're going to trade it effectively. If it goes down, we're going to do our best to trade it effectively, right? There's no guarantee, but that's what Doug and I do. We spend our time on the algorithms trying to trade whatever market conditions that it gives us.
We are coming to the end of this segment. If you want to see where blockchain is going, I'm going to give you some advice on where you can go look that'll tell you the future of it. We'll be back after the break.
So are you wondering where the next big idea will come from? Well, you'll hear about it first here at Better Living Radio. See, this is the show called The Next Big Idea. Maybe you got the next big idea, or maybe you just like to make some money from it. Peter Gantner will explain when we come back on Better Living Radio.
A health threat anywhere is a health threat everywhere. I'm Dr. Phil. A new coronavirus outbreak called COVID-19 started in China and is spreading to many countries, including the U.S. It's critical to get the facts about how to protect our friends and loved ones. While CDC is working with states and communities to stop the spread of the virus, health workers and emergency response efforts need our support. The CDC Foundation, a nonprofit organization, is focusing on immediate and critical needs that help protect our communities here at home and those around the world. We can all play a role in stopping this deadly virus. Get updates, learn how to protect your friends and family, and find out how to help. Go to cdcfoundation.org. That's cdcfoundation.org. Together, our impact is greater.
This has been a public service announcement brought to you by the CDC Foundation.
You may know David Mclaughlin from his program here at Better Living Radio. A lot of people know him because he's helped them to get the money for residential and commercial properties when they'd just about given up. Diamond Dave Mclaughlin is a pro with a wealth of knowledge and a responsive attitude. Yeah, he's one of those guys who actually calls you back. In fact, the cornerstone of his business is built on great communication. David specializes in helping people with one of their most important dreams, financing a home, and enhancing the economic well-being of his customers one loan at a time. It doesn't have to be complicated. If you're looking for a pro to guide you through any kind of stress-free financing process, catch Dave's show. It's called Where to Get the Money. You can get all of Dave's contact info. In fact, the best place to find David Mclaughlin is right there on the homepage at betterlivingradio.com. Welcome back to Better Living Radio and this amazing idea for a radio show. It's called The Next Big Idea. Rather ironic, wouldn't you say? Hey, if you've got an idea, you might want to talk with host Peter Gantner or one of his guests here at Better Living Radio. Look, here they come now.
We are back with the next big idea, and of course, we are talking about digieBot, which is tied to one of the really next big ideas, which is the blockchain. In the last segment, I said I was going to give us some pointers on where you can go to see about how big the blockchain has the potential to be. And guys, that is uspto.gov, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. If you go on there, guys, and you search for blockchain technology, look and see who are filing the most blockchain patents. It is B of A. It is the major corporations out there that are filing blockchain patent after blockchain patent after blockchain patent. Patents are 5,000, 10, 20,000. When you're talking technology patents, especially global technology patents, you could be talking spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to file each and every single one of these patents. And the major corporations are out there filing them as fast as they can. As a matter of fact, go to Google News, click on news and put in filing patents. You'll see that some of the banks out there, some of the companies have filed nearly 100 patents in this space. So that's kind of one of my ways of seeing if trends are real, is going to where are people investing their money, their intellectual property money, and that will help you. And you can do this not just in blockchain, guys, in any trend that's taking place. AI, you want to know if AI is going to be big? You want to know if self-driving cars are going to be big down the road? Look and see where people are filing patents, major companies, and where they're investing in that. That is the future of what they see that's coming and moving in that direction. Brendan or Doug, would you guys like to talk a little bit on that part of it on, because, hey, I'm going to get involved with this. I'm going to put my money in. I'm going to buy a license for Digi. I'm going to accumulate some blockchain. I'd like to get a little bit of verification that I'm moving in the right direction.
Well, yeah, and I'll let Brendan touch on this too. But, Peter, I find it really funny. I don't know if it's funny, but, a lot of the big guys will say, and a lot of the banks will downplay crypto. They'll downplay Bitcoin. Some of the big investors will do that. And they're talking out of their mouth on this side, and all along, Peter, they're filing the patents on the other side, right? So watch what they do, not what they say. And if you watch what they do, you'll follow the trends. And so what most people do is, right, they'll listen to what they're saying. Oh, stay away, stay away, stay away, while they're filing their patents, and they're getting themselves situated for the market. Okay.
To take that a step further, Doug, right? And I mentioned this on a previous episode. We have some governments bashing crypto, and literally those same governments are starting their own coins.
Yep.
Right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
But-
if the governments think, hey, you know, maybe we should get in on this coin thing in case something happens to our currency, we got to take it serious, right?
Well,
that's the
but think about why they're doing that, though, guys. If they promoted the blockchain first, if they got really excited about it, everybody would go jump into it, and the cost of their entry would be much higher. They reduce their cost of entry by downplaying it, getting situated, and then playing in the game.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I was just going to say, Doug. That's exactly what they did. And it's so interesting that it looked like there a couple of years ago when things fell, it looked like, oh, maybe this is falling apart. But then when you really dug in and took a look, the story was completely different. It's so interesting to see that. They almost missed the boat, right? And they
Yeah.
realized, we're going to miss this boat if we don't do something right now. And they have.
Well, and another testimony to this is that what they said is the last time Bitcoin fell there, right, which was March 13, 14, they said it wiped out a lot of the individuals who held Bitcoin, and they saw a lot of institutions come in and buy it up cheap.
That's exactly what they wanted to do.
So that's you just got to watch it. Like, I think you said it right, Doug, is you got to watch what they're doing, not what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, guys, if you're out there in this marketplace and you look at it, you don't have to sell your home. You know, when we talk about the next big idea, you're going to be an entrepreneur. You're going to go all in on a business. You're going to give it everything you've got. The beautiful thing about the blockchain, cryptocurrency right now, you can purchase Digi from anywhere. Doug, what's the cost of the lowest Digi license right now?
Well, we have a $100 30-day trial period, Peter, that they can come in for $100 for 30 days and just try it out. Then our next license up above that is $395 for the year for a $1,000 trade account.
Okay, excellent. So for $400 for a year, I can put $1,000 in, so $1,400. I can position myself, get it trading, get that growing, accumulating Bitcoin for me. And then if Bitcoin goes to $1 million in 2025 and I've accumulated one Bitcoin, bingo, and I've only risked maybe $1,400, $1,500, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a huge amount of risk to move forward from there. So the opportunity is, guys, that this may be the best chance that most of us have. And again, this is my opinion, to actually accumulate $10, $50, $100, $200,000 over the next few years. And, you know, a lot of times you see things and you go, that's too good to be true. Well, let me tell you, if I told you, and I think Bitcoin's a little over 10 years old, that you could have put $10 into this thing called Bitcoin, and at one point that would be worth nearly $1 million, you would have told me I was crazy. That actually happened. This is not a it might, could have, should have, would have. It happened. We believe, and that's the reason for building digieBot. It's the reason for us, you know, accumulating and wanting to accumulate Bitcoin. We believe it's not going to be that big of a growth, right? $10 into $1 million, but putting a few thousand, 1,500, and having that become $10, $20, $50,000 between now and 2025 is a possibility. But in order for that to happen, you must take action. So either buying some Bitcoin and sticking in an account, or purchasing the Bitcoin, getting digieBot, and allowing digieBot to do its magic. And by on this past results, looking pretty good to being able to accumulate more Bitcoin as it climbs up. And of course, allowing that to compound from maybe you buy 1/10 of a Bitcoin and maybe you do end up with a half or 3/4 of a Bitcoin or a full Bitcoin over the next 4 years by trading it up. And then instead of having, let's say, 1/10 of a Bitcoin, let's say it goes to $40,000. So now your 1,500 is 4,000. Maybe now you've traded that to a half a Bitcoin, and now you have $20,000 instead of $4,000.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point. And Peter, when we talk about value and why to do Digi, the cost of entry is very low, but the results are very high. And I got to say this again, past performance is no guarantee of future results. But so far this month, Peter, we have 7,860 winning trades for our members. And you go, wow, maybe that's an anomaly of a month. Well, last month, we had 9,136 winning trades for our members, right? And those aren't unique trades, but those are trades that closed in profit for our members in just the last 2 months, Peter.
Well, we've talked a little bit about this, right, Doug? Digi is in its early phases. We've got the algorithms working and set up. You and Brendan are working your magic. You guys are brilliant, by the way, and the way you're setting this up and the way it's being done. I want to talk about that in the next segment, because one of the things you and I talked about early on, and I know you had talked to Brendan about that, a lot of this comes down to money management, and this is where a lot of the softwares miss out on. They allow you trading and that type of stuff, but they don't help you manage your money very well. So in an up market, it's making money. In a down market, you give all that money back. So a lot of that's on managing the money properly and the trades properly. And that's part of the magic of digieBot that you guys have built in to the software.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And Brendan is really good on money management. We spend a lot of our time on really, there's three things that we're focused on. One, finding the best entry possible, finding the best exit possible, and you're never perfect, but you're for the way Digi trades, which we trade on no lagging indicators, and everybody that's a trader out there will understand this. We trade on volume. Digi is completely based on a volume system, and so we find the best volume areas, which are accumulation areas, and we buy those areas. We find the best sell areas, which are distribution areas, and we try to sell those areas. And then the third element of that, good entries, good exit, then great money management. You put those three together, that's what makes a winning trading plan, Peter, and that's what's so important.
And that is what Digi does, right? Digi hits on every single one of those areas. So for the $400 license, $100, 30-day trial, apply that towards a license. What's the max license for Digi right now? What can I spend and what can I trade with that max license?
Right now, it's a $12.95 license. It's a $5,000 trade account, and we allow that trade account to trade up to $10,000, meaning it can start off with $5,000, then it can trade up and earn as much as $10,000 in that account. And then we would reset it back down to the $5,000 and let it do it again. Then reset it again, Peter, let it do it again.
Now, wait a minute. I bought a piece of software. It was more expensive than that. It would allow me to trade 10, but it would not trade $1 over the $10,000. By the way, guys, my result with my software that I bought were not very good. I'm going to let you know right now. The reason for digieBot, I think, even actually getting done, they did not post their daily results. Huge difference. We are coming to the end of this segment, but we're going to be back, guys. We're just getting started in this show. We've got a lot more to talk about. We will see you on the other side of the break.
You're tuned in to Better Living Radio, streaming worldwide across the internet, and you're listening to entrepreneur and thought processor Peter Gantner on the next big idea. Stay tuned. Peter will be right back. You've heard it said right here, you can't move gigantic boulders unless you've got some kind of leverage. Like a crowbar positioned in just the right spot. With enough leverage, you can multiply your strength and move mountains. The idea applies to investing too. Think of it. How'd you like to own companies like Roku or MasterCard or Raytheon and put down as little as 10% to unlock the treasure chest of unlimited upside gains while drastically reducing your risk, and do it all with zero borrowing cost? You just need that leverage and a little know-how. So Dan Frischberg Frischberg and the entire Money Man team are making that possible. They're handing you your very own investment crowbar in special step-by-step, click-by-click instructional videos called the Layaway Option Service. It's for beginners and pros alike. Look, if you want to make real money, you owe it to yourself to take advantage of this once-in-a-blue-moon opportunity. It's your chance to see the results for yourself. The cost is next to nothing, and look what's waiting for you. Generally, you'll get 3 detailed trades each week, quality, actionable trades. You get detailed instructions on buying and selling specific put and call options. The Layaway Option Service shares specific underlying stocks, expiration dates, strike prices, and shows you how much money you could make instantly. It's Dan Frischberg's proven money-making discipline that over 50 years has made a lot of people rich. Lots of other benefits are waiting for you too, along with these special step-by-step, click-by-click instructional videos. The Layaway Option Service. Too much to detail here, but it's all right there at themoneyman.com. Themoneyman.com. Better Living Radio is on the air, and yes, it's everywhere around the world. Are you wondering, hey, what's the big idea? Oh, funny you should ask. Our show is called The Next Big Idea with Peter Gantner. In fact, we're back with more on Better Living Radio.
So guys, this is Peter, and I lost track of time. I'm thinking we got 2 segments back. The last segment, I said we got plenty of time. We've got about 10 minutes in this segment, but I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to come back tomorrow morning, and we're going to have Doug and Brendan back on again, and we're going to keep talking about digieBot because we're really just digging into this. So, Doug, I've been out looking around, and I found people that go, oh, for $100 a month, $200 a month, I'll give you my signals, and then you go do the trades. I've seen training courses for $299 starting, and then they upsell you to the $1,000 training course. I've seen training courses of $5,000 and $10,000 where they're just going to teach me how to trade. I still have to do all that stuff. In the Forex side, one of my friends purchased a course for $50,000 to do Forex trading. You've been in this space. You understand the value here. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I purchase a Digi license. Digi will do the trading for me. However, in that Digi license is training if I want to learn. So in that cost, I'm not going to pay any extra money for this. Correct me if I'm wrong, unless I attend a live event. There's an extra charge for live events. But online training, normally what I would spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for, that is included in my Digi license. Am I correct with that?
Oh, absolutely correct with that, Peter. And yeah, Brendan and I have been both trading, somewhere around 20 years each. We both were guest lecturers on a very famous trading platform called Ninja Trader years ago. We did Forex forever. And, the thing that you're talking about, Peter, the lessons that people learn, and what we learned after years and years of training, literally tens of thousands of people around the world, is that there's a fear barrier that people have a hard time getting over. There's a time barrier, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You often woke up in the morning only to miss the run by a half hour, right? There's a fear barrier. I get into a trade and I jump in and out of my trades. So even if you teach people everything that you can pour into them, at best, most of them will be up 1 month, down 1 month, and they're break even. That's the whole reason we decided to build a bot, because it takes the time element out and takes the fear element out. Now, the other thing, Peter, is they're charging to teach you to trade, and then they tell you to go trade. We're 180 degrees opposite of that. We trade, we have Digi trading for you. We help you make money trading, and then we teach you. Opposite of that. And some of the things that they're doing, like with signals and things, Peter, are absolutely impossible to do. Years ago, in the Forex, we had a a VPN system that all of our traders got hooked up to a VPN system, and it would actually match my trades. Now we have places that are selling match the top traders' trades. Well, we had a VPN trying to do it, and we experienced that some people would get out with 1 to 2 pips, some people would get out with 20 pips, and some people on that exact same trade would get out with negative pips, and it was all done electronically through a VPN. So if you can't do it electronically, there is no way in the world that you can take a signal from any of these places and consistently execute that signal in time to get the same results that they're getting.
Well, I got to say, I make pretty good money at what I do in my normal life. And I would be frustrated with that type of a system where somebody's saying, hey, go trade this. Because I know what would happen with me. I would be busy. I'd miss the trade. I'd go look and say, holy mackerel, I could have made this much money, but I missed the trade. Oh, I missed that one too. Oh, I missed that one too. Oh, I missed that one too, because I would miss them. I don't want to take away my entire life and trade. I want to get my money growing. I want to make it happen. It's why I have a 401k. It's why I have longer term investments in place, right? And I don't do that day-to-day stuff because I do not want to to control my life and take my focus. Look, this is a show for entrepreneurs and for supportive entrepreneurs. If you're trading all day, how are you going to build a company? If you're trading all day, how are you going to support entrepreneurs with crowdfunding and with branding and marketing and with going out with sales and stuff? It's almost impossible to do both of those things. So
I mean, this is the age of automation, right? And you know, Doug and I love the automation as much as we love being able to offer it, right, to our clients and our community, right? The whole point is you can't be there. Doug and I used to get up all hours of the day and night trading Forex almost around the clock. It will consume your life. It will, yeah, it's not a good quality of life. We'll just say that. So even if you're making a killing, your quality of life is just not there, right? And just like Doug said, you'll miss it. So we would divide it up, and one would trade the night, one would trade the morning. So somebody gets the European session, somebody gets the, I mean, it's, if you're one human can't do it, guys. That's why we have automation. We have wonderful technology now, and we love to leverage it, and we'd love to let you take advantage of that too.
Well, yeah, and I got to tell you guys, you don't want trading. I did it, right, for a couple months while the market was going up with crypto, and there were all kinds of gurus out there. I'd go watch their YouTube videos, and as soon as the market crashed, half of them stopped doing YouTube videos, right? Because when the market's going straight up, everybody can be a guru. You know, one of the things in my understanding, and guys, digieBot is a kulaBrands supported company. We looked at the marketplace. We said, hey, there's a trend coming here. We need to get involved with this. It's a royalty paying company to the kulaBrands community. And because we were building this for our core community, Doug really and Brendan both, they really wanted this to work and function. We're not just trying to sell somebody a license. We're selling our best friends. We're selling people that we're going to show up at Kula parties with. We're showing people that we've committed to helping them build a better financial future. So this was built. Hundreds of our members have purchased these licenses, and they're using it to trade. And also, once you purchase your license, we have a Skype group set up. Doug, maybe you can cover a little bit on both of those subjects. Sure. Why did you take the time that you took to get this thing built? Why do you care so much about it being, you know, these positive trades, massive numbers? I see the smile when you say 7,000, 9,000 trades, you get a smile on your face. That's because they're for our best friends in the world.
Yeah, you know, Peter, we have a Kula party. We don't call it a convention. We call it a party every year. And I have to show up.
You definitely have to be there. Yeah.
I gotta be there, right? And I can't show up and stand around the pool and talk to people, or be at the conference and on stage and have Digi not performing. So yeah, Digi was over 2.5 years in development. We came out in January this year to the market, but we had 1.5 years of just beta testing and building, right? And in actually, Peter, in overseas costs, not U.S. costs, overseas costs, there's probably $1.5 million plus in the development of Digi. So, this isn't something that was just put together yesterday. And besides all of that, you have Brendan with 20 years of trading experience. You got me with 20 years of trading experience. And you got our programming team of 22 to 25 full-time programmers working on this around the clock almost, because I'm up during U.S. time and they're up during the nighttime, and we're up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning working on Digi.
And Doug,
this is an ongoing thing.
We have direct access to you. And when I say we, I mean the entire Digi community has direct access to you because you're in that Skype group and you're doing the trainings. I've never bought software where I have direct access to the people who built it. That is unheard of and incredible, and I'm so grateful.
Well, thank you, Deb. Yeah, and again, guys, we believe in transparency. We believe in, giving the best service that we possibly can for our members, and that's going to flow out to everybody else in the world. That's just who we are. It's what we do, and we love what we do. We love trading. We love teaching. We love educating, and especially empowering people. And Peter, I want to hit on this really quick. You talk about a show for entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs need money, Peter. This is a great way for them to create a passive income for what they're doing.
And you've got to have passive income we had a show on the sharing economy, right? On this gig economy that people could go do stuff to make money as an entrepreneur. You've got to set up a plan. The saying is, right? If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you've got to plan financially for yourself. This is a great way to do it. We're coming up on the end of the show, but we're going to be back tomorrow morning, guys, and we're going to continue with digieBot, because we've got a lot more to talk about. LTH, just different things that are in this software that no one else is doing out there. Guys, this has been a great show. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again tomorrow morning, guys. Fantastic. See you tomorrow.
Did you ever imagine that these little inventions like radio and the internet, that there was a time when they were considered the next big idea? And yet here you are today, having just heard a program called The Next Big Idea. Peter Gantner is your host. He's one of the founders of kulaBrands, and they can help you whether you've got an idea of your own or you just want to get in on the ground floor of the next big thing. Peter and his co-hosts and guests are here weekdays on Better Living Radio to discuss the ins and outs of creating, manufacturing, branding, and marketing the best of the big ideas. Maybe you've got one, or maybe you want to be involved in one. You're definitely tuned into the right spot. So hear this. You can hear this program weekdays at the same time on Better Living Radio as kulaBrands presents Peter Gantner and the Next Big Idea.